Yes, if you haven't heard already, we are celebrating our Cape Malay culture, and we thought, why not do something special, something sweet? It's a favorite treat, and you do not want to miss this one.
So, we've had classic fashion from Timby, classic cars, thanks Chad, and we've seen classic hairstyles. And you, Michael? Classic!
A classic range from Clover. Timeless taste.
Made with love by Clover.
Yes, it is that time. Now listen up, Mzansi. In the Cape Malay culture, it is a tradition. You have to do this. You have to have a warm, freshly glazed koesister with a cup of tea or coffee on a Sunday morning. Doesn't get better than that. But we say, why only on a Sunday, right? We have a classic koesister recipe for you to try at home that you can make on any day of the week to enjoy with that perfect cuppa. And here to show us how is Zozo in the building.
I'm going to show you one version, but I feel like everyone has their own version of making a delicious koesister.
Have you made this before?
This is my first time.
Well, this is
and
a big
I'm doing
moment,
it on
right?
TV. So
this is like a staple in culture, and I think everybody's going to be watching you now. But it is your first time, so we will be very, very forgiving. But I back you.
But you know what? I think this is just proof that if I can make this recipe, anyone can make this recipe. And like I said, everyone has their own special, unique recipe. I think everyone has that special ingredient that they don't like to share. But this is one I'm going to share with you. So we're going to start off with some flour. I'm going to add our instant yeast.
And I really want to pay attention to the spices and the flavoring of this because I don't know how it tastes good. I know the taste, but I have no idea how they do it. So this is really important to me.
Yes, I've added some sugar, and now we're going to the spices you were talking about. First, a little bit of baking powder. Okay. I've got some allspice here, a little bit of cinnamon, some cardamom, as well as some ground ginger. Adding all of our dry ingredients except the salt because I've added some instant yeast and those two don't like each other together. So there we go. And then, of course, we are using our Clover Mama Bake.
Yes. Mama Bake is something that I haven't even known up until now, and where have I been? It is awesome. It's called Clover Mama Bake margarine. Now, it's ideal for all baking types of recipes. Now, with these Moorish koesisters, they're going to become a weekly treat for your family to love and enjoy. So why not spread the love by sharing some with your neighbors and your colleagues? Now, I love the fact that we're baking with something like this. It just gives that umami feel. It gives the warmth and it gives the texture that we need when it comes to putting this magic together.
That's right.
How are you looking over there on your side?
I've added all our wet ingredients. So we have our Clover Mama Bake that was melted.
All right.
Added some lukewarm water, our egg, and then a little bit of milk. And now I'm just going to make sure I mix this together because this is what's going to be our little dough. We're going to leave it to prove for about 4 hours or so. So I'm going to get you to mix this so that everything is mixed. And I'm going to move over to our syrup. So I've got a saucepan here that's a little hot already. I'm adding some sugar and a bit of water. Maybe it's a bit
nice and hot.
Let's just move that.
And again, this is why I've never tried to make this because it's like you got to not only is the syrup you got to get right, you got to get the koesister itself right as well, and then comes the dunking after that. It's quite an affair. It's like something you really have to appreciate.
It is something you have to appreciate, but also this is something that you can make in bulk and save for different moments. So you can store save your syrup in the fridge. You can make your koesisters and freeze them, and then when you're ready to use them, you can defrost them. I'm adding some cardamom pods and a little bit of some of our cinnamon flakes. Okay. Then I need to add a little bit of salt. I forgot that to the recipe.
Pop that in there. No worries. This is the first time.
And our aniseed. That's getting all mixed in there. Thank you. Thank you. So I've got our syrup going here. It obviously needs to go nice and slow. I've got a little bit too high. I'm just going to make sure it goes nice and slow. And then that's going to thicken up as, and then really just give us that syrupiness that we want. So we've already got here our finished koesister.
How's this composure? How's the texture of this? Is this something that I would be able to leave? So this is something I'm going to leave for
We're going to wrap it and then leave it for about 4 hours.
Right, you cannot be in a rush to make this perfection.
You'll mix it properly.
Sorry.
On any given day,
Okay.
So there we go.
And then I see we've also got some zesting. So the step is not done after the syrup, right?
No, I forgot.
You've got the koesister. Once you've done with the koesister and you've baked it, you've left it to rise and get to this texture. Obviously, it's the syruping effect that comes through after this. So once you're done with the syruping, what do? We dunk it, right?
We're going to dunk it. So you need to be very careful. And then you just dunk it really carefully.
All right, so I know for a fact that this is something that I've used before. I've zested up orange in it, which is something that adds a little pizzazz to it.
There's quite a few recipes that would let you add a little bit of naartjie.
Okay, yeah.
We're using our oranges
Is that a
today.
naartjie in Afrikaans?
A naartjie.
A naartjie?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't even know that. All right. So I've had the honor of just finishing this off, so I kind of have an idea of what to do. But I know when it comes to the zesting, it's something that we add to the syrup if you can. You can actually put it in there as well. But the favorite part for me is when we get to actually dunking it and putting that icing on top of it. We don't use icing, we're using coconut for this, which is absolutely the perfect finisher on the top. But so I'm impressed. First time trying to make this, not a bad job.
And then, of course, be very careful. This is hot, sugary syrup. So we're just going to leave it in there for a little bit to soak up some of it. And then you'll flip it over and then, obviously, dunk it in your coconut.
Voila, look at us first timers tackling the Koesister. I'm pretty impressed. You can get the recipe inspiration on expressoshop.com. And if you missed any of these steps, don't worry, we got you covered. Check this out.
Made with love by Clover.